Hey guys, it's Reuel Brony, and welcome to Reuel Life, the show where I answer questions and stuff happens, and so I got a few questions on my video last week. I'll start off with this one from Fritzy Butt. He asks, who would you consider to be your biggest musical inspirations? Well, there's a few answers to that question. I love a ton of Brony musicians. If I were to start with the A's, there would be Aftermath, All Levels at Once, Archie, Art Attack, Assertive Fluttershy, Aviators, and I really don't have time to list them all because I like so many musicians in the Brony fandom, including ones that currently are inactive. Aside from that, one of my biggest inspirations is 21 Pilots. In fact, on several occasions I've been accused of sounding like them. Next, Fritzy asks, what kind of music did you grow up listening to? Well, to put it simply, all throughout high school it was this. And after I graduated, it was this. My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Finally, Fritzy Beat asks, what's your favorite place to eat? Well, naturally, Fritzy May's Laundromat. Next, we have a question from Gunsbrony, and he asks, have you ever been to a convention? Well, I haven't, but I would really like to someday. I've thought of going to BronyCon before, but it's just never been possible. The next question is, do you listen to Brony music? And if you do you have a favorite song or musician? Well, yes, pretty much all of them. But there are a few songs that I've really liked over the years, and here's a link to one of them. He also asks, will you make a real-life music video again?
No!
Nope. I hope that answers your question. And as for a collaboration with the Brony Buscus, well, that's exactly what you're watching right now. In terms of a full-length music video, probably not until summer or later because he has a little thing called school, and that makes it pretty much impossible to do long SFM projects. Now I've got a few questions from ABZDE, who asks, do you have lyrics written down for songs that you haven't sung yet? And if so, how many songs? Well, in addition to all my unfinished lyrics, I also have a lot of unfinished songs, and let's take a moment to remember them. Also, what are some things you love about the new MLP episodes? Well, to be honest, I've loved all of them so far in Season 5, but some of the highlights are seeing the more sensitive and caring side of Rainbow Dash in Thanks for the Memories. That really confirmed what I'd been suspecting about her character all along. And I don't want to give any spoilers for those who haven't seen it, but I love what happens with Gilda in The Lost Treasure of Griffinstone. Also, this
is the most basic of jokes.
You're the most basic of jokes.
Honestly, that episode had a ton of laugh-out-loud moments for me, and I really enjoyed it. You also want to know how many watermelons I eat per year? Well, I can't honestly recall sitting down and eating a full watermelon, but I will sometimes take a slice if I'm offered, so the answer is probably anywhere between 0 and 1 per year. Now, if you count Sour Patch watermelon, then the answer is in the hundreds. Now, on a slightly more serious note, Psychoacoustic asks me, why don't you want to collaborate? Well, it's really nothing personal, Psychoacoustic. I happen to like your music, but I actually haven't collaborated with anybody in almost a year now. The reason for that is pretty simple. I work a full-time job at least 40 hours every single week, and I have a lot of projects of my own going on right now, so if I tried to take on any collaborations, I think it would just be too much to handle, and I get stressed out really easily, to be honest. Now, I may open up collabs at some point in the future when I feel more confident with my inspiration or when I don't have as much work going on, but for now they're closed. You can check the About section of my channel to see when they open up again, but please note that there will be certain requirements for anyone who wants to collaborate with me, which I will post when they open up again. Moving on, Hey T asks, can I get enough vitamin D from the sun? No, but you can get enough vitamin sun from the D. Anyway, Guiding Light wants to know, can you tell me anything about your racial or ancestral heritage? Of course. I'm 100% Pegasus. But seriously, besides the fact that I have a lot of German on my dad's side and a little bit of Native American on my mom's, I actually don't know that much about my heritage, so I'll have to look into that someday. Alright, we've only got a few questions left. The Brony Buscus wants to know my favorite food and my favorite movie or TV series. Well, as for my favorite food, here's a hint. Pizza! And as for TV, well, obviously there's My Little Pony, but I also like Chuck, Psych, and actually I don't watch that much TV. For movies, I like Spider-Man, both series, and Lord of the Rings are probably some of my all-time favorites. Okay, the penultimate asker of questions is Joshua V. Trinity, who asks, how many waters do you eat per year? To which I respond, what are you talking about? And finally, we have Electric X, who asks, will you notice me, Reuel Senpai? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to answer your question last. Also, how do you come up with inspiration for your lyrics and songs? Well, this is probably going to be the most serious answer I'll have to any question. Honestly, songs are very emotional for me, so when I'm writing lyrics, I pretty much just sit down, or stand up, and write exactly what's on my mind and what I'm feeling. A lot of times I don't have to put too much thought into it because I'm literally just expressing how I feel at that moment. As for getting inspiration, I like to listen to some of my favorite artists, which I mentioned earlier, but quite honestly, one of the biggest things that inspires me is watching My Little Pony. So a lot of times before I want to start a big project or a new song, I'll watch an episode that relates to it to get some good inspiration to make a cool song. Well, sadly, that brings me to the end of the questions that I got. But hey, if you like this little series thingy, then let me know, and even ask me more questions, so I'll have material for another show, potentially. But before I leave, I want to leave you guys with a question, which is, what would you like to see more of in my music? I'm thinking of starting another album after this one concludes, but I don't exactly know where I want to go with it. So I want to know all your thoughts, like, would you like more vocal songs, more instrumentals, more rapping, no rapping ever, things like that. I'd love to hear your feedback and what you guys would prefer to hear from me. Obviously, I don't do a lot of remixes, so if that's something you want to hear, let me know, even specific songs. So by all means, comment below in answer to that question, and I will respond to any possible suggestions I get in the next episode if I have enough material to make one. So thank you for staying with me if you made it this far, and I will see you guys later.